My new wife is jealous of my dead wife and threw away her videotapes that I wanted to show my daughter. Now she's crying her crocodile tears, but I'm ready to divorce her. Chloe and I started dating in college and our love was still strong as we got older, so I proposed to her. We got married and after our wedding, she shared news to me that she was pregnant, and I was excited that we were expecting our first child. We even bought a video camera to make little tapes and snippets of her whole pregnancy. It was all wholesome things such as us joking around, having lunch together, or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show our daughter on her 18th birthday, to show her how much she was loved and cared for, and even just to show her another side of mom and dad to her. Well, that never happened because 2 years after our daughter's birth, we named her Eleanor. My wife passed away due to an intoxicated driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mother's house. I was devastated and went into a deep depression. And it was worse because our daughter had to grow up without ever knowing her. My friends tried to get me to go out again and start dating, but every time I did I felt like I was betraying her. Fast forward 11 years later, I met Wendy. We instantly hit it off and she didn't mind that I had a daughter because she had 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce. We started dating and our relationship worked so well we got married 2 years later. Now, Eleanor's birthday is coming up and I kept all my wife's tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2. So Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. She doesn't know how kind-hearted her mom is, how she would feed and rescue stray cats, how she was so funny she could make you laugh until you were gasping for breath. But I knew that once she saw these tapes, she would understand what her mother was like. I was excited to keep my late wife's wish and I was talking about it to Wendy, when I noticed her expression going from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. It wasn't anything new. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talked about Chloe. I've never said things like, "Why can't you be like Chloe?" or "Chloe was supposed to be my only love," but I talk about her to my daughter to give her a mental picture of what her mother was like, or even when she just asks me to talk about her. But Wendy has said that she could never be like Chloe. Chloe was a model, then started working on her fashion career, while Wendy claims she's not in the best shape because she had 2 kids in college. I love both women how they are and I've never had a preference, but I didn't like that she felt insecure, especially when I only ever brought up Chloe when Eleanor asked about her. And it's not like it's a crime for a daughter to want to know what her mother was like. Still, I comfort Wendy whenever she brings up these insecurities, and that day was no different. She broke down crying and I told her I love her just the way she was. The next day after that incident she came up to me and apologized for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay and it's good that she felt comfortable enough to share her feelings, and I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked to see where the tapes were and I showed her the box of videotapes in my closet. She thanked me for showing her and everything was fine until the next morning. I wanted to put the tapes in a prettier box, but when I went to find them, the box wasn't in my closet. I looked everywhere and eventually went downstairs to look for it, and saw my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box and with a straight face she admitted she threw it away. My heart dropped and I asked her what she meant. She just said I talk about my ex-wife too much and I need to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a head start. I was fuming with anger because not only did she throw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter's big surprise. I told her I had moved on, but even if I hadn't, she had no right to do that. She had just thrown away a huge part of my life that I would never get back. And what's even worse is that my daughter would never get to see what her mom was like. She ruined everything. When I said that, she started apologizing, but sorry wasn't going to fix anything. I just went to my bedroom and locked myself in there while I cried all night. The next morning when I had calmed down a bit, I went through my computer to find old files or any type of video of my late wife to give to my daughter. It hurt even more because sometimes my daughter still cries over the fact she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought the tapes would bring her closer to her. As for my wife, I've been ignoring her for the past day, but she's been texting me nonstop about how sorry she is. I really just can't look at her right now though. The next day, I checked the trash cans outside and in the kitchen, but I still couldn't find them. Trash day wasn't until Thursday, so I was confused as to where they went. I couldn't waste any more time, so I finally went up to Wendy and asked her about the tapes, but she didn't respond. So I threatened her with divorce, and that's when she told me everything. Turns out, she kept the videotapes in her car until trash day arrived because she knew I would look through it. So now I have the tapes and I couldn't be more relieved. But I'm really worried about Wendy's well-being. I think she needs therapy because while she's really good with my daughter and a good wife, I think she's trying to take Chloe's place by wanting to be Eleanor's mother. I'm also worried that if I don't divorce her, I will betray my daughter. My daughter is my number one, so I think I should find someone better that can respect not only me, but my daughter and her mother.